Almost a week after the defeat against Watford, after the game you said you would reflect on whether you're doing a good enough job. Have you had the time to do so, and do you still believe you're the right man to turn this around for Bournemouth?
Always reflecting. Every game, every training session, that reflection has always been, I think, one of my biggest strengths, because that's where you hopefully grow and learn and continue to improve. So, yeah, we reviewed everything that we did before Watford, tried to see where we went wrong in the preparation for that game, because it wasn't the performance that we wanted, and tried to apply those things in the build-up to this game.
It's hard to be positive at this point. 2 very heavy defeats in the Premier League, 9 in 11. Are you feeling the pressure right now?
It might be hard for you to be positive. But yeah. I've always said, in good moments, bad moments, the key thing for me is find ways to improve. So it's in a difficult moment, a negative moment, we've got to find ways to improve and change our results, change our performances. I'm absolutely confident we can do that. I've seen a good reaction from the players this week, very focused, very driven to help ourselves out of the position that we're in and change the mood. So that's what we've got to do.
What do you need to do specifically to turn things around?
Well, I think it's a combination, always a combination of things. I think we need to defend better, first and foremost, get the basics right defensively, which we didn't against Watford. Definitely there has to be a shift and an improvement in our attacking play, which is hard for us because it's been so unlike us in recent seasons. It's always been our strength, I think near enough every season. We've always had our attacking play, our goal scoring, our style of play to fall back on. And that's at times this season gone missing, and I think that's a massive thing we need to rediscover very quickly.
Is there a worry of Callum Wilson's form hasn't scored since September? Does that concern you? Does that concern the player himself?
I never focus on one player. As I said, the attacking side is the team. Every player in every position has a responsibility to help us attack and create chances right the way through. So Callum will focus on himself, but he's also very much a team player as well, and he knows the importance of the team performing. And if the team performs, Callum will get chances to score.
Personally, it's obviously such a tough time for you. Is this your hardest moment as a league manager?
You keep trying to put words in my mouth. I think I'm here, rain or shine. I try to be very consistent with my message and how I work with my players. So when you're winning games and having successful spells, I try and improve my players and find the next part of their game to improve and to take on to the next level. And that should not change when you're not winning games and when you're not being as successful as you want to be. My aims are to improve the team, improve each individual to become the best players they can be. Obviously, there's a huge expectation for the team to get results, and I understand that. And that will never leave me either, because you want to win and you want to win well. But all I can do is affect each player and try and get them to deliver for the team.
Now, you've never used injuries as an excuse for any of your performances, but how frustrating is it, the injuries you've suffered this season, but also Chris Metham as well, out for 12 weeks, I believe, after his injury last weekend. Frustrating?
Yeah, frustrating. Probably one way of putting it. I think it's been very difficult this year, not just this season, but going back last season, because I've never felt we've had our strongest group to pick from. And I think I said a week ago, 2 weeks ago, even with everybody fit at this level in this league, there's no guarantee you'll win games. But it does become harder with each player you lose. And I think the flip side of that is I look at the team I picked against Watford and I felt it was a very strong team. And I back the team I pick against Norwich to be a very strong team that's good enough to win the game. So that's why I can't look at it and go, there's excuses there. The responsibility is on me and the team to win games.
Any injury concerns leading up to the game against Norwich? Nathan Aki, Josh King, Jack Stacey, fitness worries at all?
Yeah, Josh King and Jack Stacey won't make the game. Nathan came through the game okay and has trained well this week, so no problems with him.
And Norwich, what are you expecting from Norwich? Obviously, they're fighting for survival as well. Expecting a tough encounter at Carrow Road?
Always a difficult stadium to go and play. Home form will be very strong. Home support, be very strong. Their style of play hasn't changed. I think full credit to Daniel and his team and his players for Still trying to execute the way they got promotion from the Championship. Very expansive. They've got some very good technical players. We know it'll be a difficult game.
Transfer window in full swing. I know you've said previously you were looking at improving the squad, possibly loan options. Is there anything that's happening at the moment? Any news to tell us at all?
I've got nothing to add on that. I think a combination of things makes it very difficult for us in this window to recruit. So league position, availability of players, resources available to improve the squad. Is as I say, it's going to be potentially loans that we're looking at, and they're not easy to find the right players that improve the squad. I could sign a whole host of players, but I need someone to come in and actually improve what we've got, and I think that's the most difficult part.
Are you still searching though?
Always. I think we're searched till the end of the window, because if there is that one player out there that can make the difference, then we need to find him.
I know I sound like I've probably been quite negative so far, so on a positive note.
Thank God for that.
Sky Sports News reported this week on Tuesday that Chelsea were probably unlikely to activate Nathan Ake's buyback clause. That must be music to your ears right now.
Yeah, I was hoping for something a little bit better than that, but
That's all I've got. It's not raining anymore.
we'll wait and see on that. There's no comment to make really on that one. I think that's very much out of my control.
Any concerns for there might be any bids coming though for any of your players?
No immediate concerns from me, in the sense that I've always said with transfer stuff, it's very difficult for me to control it. If I can't control it, let's not focus on it. Let's focus on the team that I have, the training with the players that I know are here, fit and available. My job is to get the best out of them.
I assume that same kind of theory applies for Ryan Fraser as well. Contract running out in the summer. Is he one that potentially could be leaving this window?
I've not had any discussions with Ryan towards that effect. He's very focused on this team, and in the current position that we're in, he knows the importance of his individual performances to help the team. So no problems with him.
Finally, what sort of response are you looking for against Norwich on Saturday from your team? What do you think they need to do specifically to turn things around?
I think very much the basics of football. They need to work hard. We need to play as a team. And we need to show how much this game means to us and our supporters. And I think if we have a combination of those things, we'll get to where we want to be long term. So it's very much the basics. We have to really graft and really show the passion needed in the game.
Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you.
Eddie, a couple of weeks ago you mentioned how you worried the team had lost its identity. I sort of look back and you first mentioned that back in March after losing to Leicester. So what effect does it have on you when you have such what seems quite a sizable problem for approaching a year?
Yeah, I don't think that's been every game. You look back very, very short term to Manchester United, to Chelsea. There were games where our identity was very clear. I think the problem is we've been inconsistent with that. And that's been a huge frustration for me, because you wanted to stand on the sideline and see your team perform, and it to be clear to everybody what we're trying to do and how we play. And I don't think we've seen it consistently, and I think that's been the frustrating thing, because even as recent as the Chelsea game, which wasn't that long ago, we saw a team fully committed, played some really good football, defended very well. All the elements of a Bournemouth performance that I want to see.
But is the identity you want to see when you're playing teams outside the big six, if you like, different, and that side is what's missing, perhaps the sort of the front foot dictating the tempo?
But I think we. What do you mean by that?
I'm sort of thinking back to when you first came into the Premier League and the way last year it became sort of more of a counter-attacking approach. Before that, it was sort of front foot. We're going to impose ourselves on the game completely from the start. And when you're facing the likes of Manchester United and Chelsea, perhaps it's more going back to last season than at the start of the Premier League. The philosophy that you brought into this club.
I think there's different games, different game plans for different teams. I think, yes, we have a core idea running through every performance, and then tweaks for certain games, because it's very difficult. Manchester City away is a very different game to another team at home. So I think having that adaptability is very important. We probably haven't done well enough against the teams in and around us this season of imposing ourselves and our style on them. Now, whether that's psychological, that's a question to be asked and to be raised, because we've raised ourselves for some of the bigger teams in the division and performed really well. Arsenal at home here, thought we gave a good performance and could have won that game. So Chelsea, Manchester United, they're games that we've excelled in this year, and they're almost the less pressure games, the games where we're not expected to get anything, but we've performed very well. And then when the pressure is on us and we're playing the teams that we're expected to get results against, we haven't quite excelled. And I think that's probably been our biggest frustration, because when we first came into the Premier League, that was reversed. It was the other way round, and that's where we got some key points and the points that enabled us to stay in the division. So whether that's psychological, that's something we need to fix quickly.
Back in those early Premier League days, you mentioned about how Drew Sermon deserved a lot of praise for the way he was sort of performing a unique role. He wanted very different things in the deepest midfielder to perhaps other teams, and how he adapted to that. He's obviously had a lot of injuries in the last couple of seasons. I wonder how have you struggled to replace someone performing that same role? I know the central midfield has sort of changed with Jefferson.
I think every player has unique characteristics which help our team. So you go back to, depends how far you want to go back. You go back to our championship winning team. That the characteristics of that team are very different to the characteristics of the players we have now. But the pace of the Premier League, the speed of which the games are played at, the athleticism of the opponents means that we have to go a slightly different direction, or we're going to get left behind physically. Then there's a balance between physicality and technical ability. So we've constantly changed as we've gone through our Premier League time to where we are now. And we're constantly moving to try and find the answers to make us the team that we want to be. Drew's been a huge player for us over a long period of time, and his technical ability has really stood out for me as one of the key reasons we dominated games, and we were able to take the game to the opposition in that way. But the players we have now have very good characteristics, but slightly different from Andrew. But he still remains a very important member of our squad.
And on Saturday at the final whistle, the crowd made it quite clear they were upset, they weren't happy. How much does that sting that they're reacting like that?
It doesn't. It's not nice, but it doesn't sting in any way, because I was probably joining them. That the feeling that they had is the feelings that I had. It's the feelings that the players had. You have to be very open and honest when you don't perform. Can't hide away from it. So I had no problem with that. As I said, I shared that reaction. It wasn't an unjust one. And then I always say the responsibility is on us to change that. Next time we play at home, we'd love to have a different reaction at the final whistle, but only we can dictate that.
Eddie, would you say this is the most important game of the season for you so far?
Predictable answer, of course it is, because it's the next one. It's the one we have in front of us. But it does no good for me to stand here and build the game up any more than it is for my players. The players know how important every game is now. We're going to run out of games if we don't turn our form around. So that's a massive game for us.